Hi everyone, this is Sultan with RexTheme, and in this video I'll show you how you can use the custom fields from WooCommerce Product Feed Manager to include important detailed attributes to your product such as age group, gender, size and color to your WooCommerce products. So let's get started. You see, when you have a WooCommerce store, you always want to promote it to large marketplaces to increase your sales. However, most marketplaces have certain rules that they follow. For example, if you're selling clothing products in Google or Trovaprezi, you need to submit certain important attributes such as the age group, the color, the gender or the size for that product. Now, WooCommerce by default does not come with fields so that you can input these values to your products. And this hampers the feed generation when you're creating a feed to upload your products to those marketplaces. So what we did is we included a feature with which you can add custom fields for this particular product details to your WooCommerce products. Okay, so the reason this is very important is because, as I told you, certain marketplaces have a requirement for you to submit this when your products are in the apparels or clothing industry. Okay, if you do not submit this data, your product will be rejected. All right, and if you have this data in your WooCommerce store, then you can easily use that to generate a product feed real quick. Okay, so let me just quickly show you how you can use this feature and where you'll find these custom fields within your products. And later I'll show you how you can use this custom field values when generating the product feed. So let's get started. As you can see, I already have the plugin Product Feed Manager for WooCommerce installed and activated, and I'm on the settings menu for the plugin. Now once you're on the settings page, here go to the controls tab, and here you'll see that there's this option called add detailed product attributes, size, color, pattern, material, age group, gender to the product. So once you enable this option, you'll see that in your WooCommerce store for each of your products, these custom fields are available so that you could input a value for the products. Let me just quickly show you where they appear within your product data. All right. Here you can see this is a simple product in my WooCommerce store. All right. Let me just edit this product. Okay. So once you're on the edit page for the product, if you scroll down to the product data section, here you'll see there's a new menu called PFM Custom Fields. Once you click on that, you will see there are certain fields that are available here, which include product color, the product size, product pattern, material, age group, and gender. So these are the custom fields that come up with that feature for adding detailed attributes to your product data. All right. So now here for these fields, you can input the values. Let me just input the color. As you can see, this is a polo t-shirt that's in white color. So let me just put the color as white. And let's say this is in L size. And let me just leave the product pattern blank. The pattern and the material, these are other two extra attributes that if you want, you can submit, but it's not mandatory. Okay. So now I need to give the age group. So since this is for grown-ups, I'll just write adults. And for the gender, it's for males, so I'll just write male. So once you have the values inputted in these fields, you can just scroll up and update the product, and this data will be stored as data for this product. Okay. As you can see, if I go back to that PFM Custom Fields menu, these values are there. Okay. Now in the same way, these fields will also be available for variable products, but it's a bit different as each variant needs to have different values for these attributes. Okay, let me just quickly show you how these fields work for a variable product. So as you can see, this is a variable product and I have about 3 variations for this product: blue, red and green. Okay, so let me just edit this product. Now, while on the edit page of the product for a variable product, just scroll down to the product data section, and here they will see there is again this menu called PFM Custom Fields. Now, once you click on that, you will see that there are no fields here. As I told you, for variable product, each variant need to have unique values for those attributes. So as a result, for a variable product, these fields will appear within the product data for each variations. Let me show you where. Just go to the variations menu And here you can see there are three variations. Let me just click on the first one, which is red. And you can see these are the basic product data. And if I scroll down, you'll see there are these new fields coming up called detailed product attributes. And these are the same fields that you saw for the simple product I showed you earlier. All right. So now, as this is a red variant, let me just choose the color as red. And let's say the size is again large. So I'll choose L. And I'm still keeping the product pattern and material blank, as these are not mandatory. For the age group, again, I'm giving adult, as these are for grown-ups. And for the gender, I'll choose male. Right. Now let me just save this. And once the page reloads, you can see that this data has been stored within this variant. Now this has been set for the red variant. Now I have two other variants. If I go on to the blue variant, you'll see it has its own product data, and below that it has its own custom fields for those attributes. Okay, so I can input the values for this variant as well. So let me just quickly do that. And now for the green variant. Okay, so now I have inputted custom values for those important attributes for each variant. As you can see, if I go to the red one, it has its own data over here. If I go to the blue one, it has its own data over here. And if I go to the green one, it has its own data. So far you have seen how you can enable these custom fields for adding additional detailed attributes for the product. And I've also shown you where you can find these fields within the product data. The next thing to do is to use these values when generating a product feed. Now before I do that, let me just tell you how did I know what value to use. Okay, so depending on different marketplaces, you need to choose what values you might include for each of these attributes. Say for the color, not all marketplaces has limitations for the color, so you probably can use any color you want. But then again, for the size, almost all marketplaces has a limitation. For example, for Google, they have a certain metrics. Let me just show you. For the size, they either want you to provide in the form of S, L, and XL, which represents small, large, or extra large, or you can also provide number values if you want. Okay, so the measurements vary for these cases. And then if you look into the gender, we have only 3 accepted values, which is the male, female, and unisex. So you cannot just use here for men or women when you submit it to Google. But then again, there are other marketplaces where you can actually submit it as men and women. All right, so whichever marketplace you're generating feed for, you first need to read the instructions from them to understand what values to include for these attributes, and only then this will be accepted properly. Right, as you can see here again, for the age group, Google has these 5 values that they accept, which is the newborn, infant, toddler, kids, and adults. If you give any other value, this will not be accepted. All right, so hopefully now you understand the importance of these attributes. Now what I'll do is I'm going to generate a feed and show you how you can use these attributes in the product feed. Now to generate the product feed, just hover your mouse on product feed on your dashboard and click on add new feed. And it will take you to this page where you're here to create a brand new product feed. So first give a name to it. I'll just give it PFM Google. Okay. Next, you need to configure some of these options that you have here. If you want to include all the products, just leave it as it is. If you want to filter out certain products to include, just use one of the filter options. And if you scroll a bit lower, you'll see options for refresh intervals and some other few options which are already configured. For most marketplaces, you don't even have to change this. Since I'm here to show you about the custom fields, for now I'm going to leave it as it is, as this is the default options you need when you submit the product feed for Google. All right, so let me just quickly scroll down to the feed configuration section, and here let me choose the merchant as Google Shopping. Now once I select Google Shopping, you'll see that below a lot of attributes has appeared. These are all the mandatory attributes for Google Shopping. Just like that, if you choose any other merchant here, the mandatory attributes will appear over here as well. Okay, now you can see these are mandatory attributes, but the important detail attributes that I'm talking about, those are mandatory for certain categories only. So if your products are in those categories, then you have to add those attributes to the feed. So what you do is you click on Add New Attribute and click on Please Select. And if you scroll down, you should find those attributes in the list here. You can see there's the option for color. Let me just choose color. And then this field is called the type, what type of value you're going to use. So I'm going to use the type as attribute. Now to include color for your products, you've used the custom fields through Product Feed Manager for WooCommerce. So to use that value, what you need to do is this. Click on this field and scroll down and look for this header called Product Custom Attributes. Just get past that, and there you'll find the value called WPFM product color. Okay, so click on that and choose this one, which is the sanitization field as default, and choose the value as 0. Now I've added color. Next I'll add the age group. As you can see, this is the age group. I selected that and click on attribute, and I'll choose the value as WPFM product age group. Okay, and it's the same for the sanitization. And next I'm gonna include the gender, and you click on this and look for the gender attribute, which is this one, and choose the type as attribute, and here search for the field name WPFM product gender. It's right here, and you choose the sanitization as default and the value is 0 again. And now I just have to add the size, so click on Add New Attribute. Over here look for the size attribute. As you can see, this is the size of the item. Choose the type as attribute, and here look for the field WPFM product size, and choose the sanitization as default and choose this as 0. Okay, so now I've included these 4 attributes. Now there are certain other options that has to be configured here. I didn't do that because here I'm just here to show you how you can use this custom field values that you included through Product Feed Manager. We have other videos to show you how to configure the rest of the values. If you want, I can include a link in the description below. Also, if you don't remember these field names, we have a documentation where we have stated the field names for each and every custom fields we included in the plugin. So I'll include a link to that documentation in the description below. Alright, so now once I've added that, let me just scroll up and publish this feed. And as you can see, the feed is being generated. And once it's generated, you'll find the option to view the feed. So once I click on View Feed, it will take me to view the feed that I have. So I have a lot of products here. Let me just search for the 2 products I explained to you. So this was one of them. Now as you can see, this is the product, and if I scroll down, you'll see that we have the extra attributes called the size, the gender, the age group, and the color. Okay, in the same way, the other product was the plain t-shirts. Okay, for that you'll see that each variant has their values added for these attributes. As you can see, this is the green variant. If I scroll down, this is the blue variant. They also have all 4 values. And if I scroll a little higher, there's the red variant. And how do I know these are the variants? You can see in the link, it says this is for the attribute red for this product. Again, if I scroll down, this is for attribute blue for this product, and this is for attribute green for this product. Okay, and another way to understand that these are part of the same variable product is by looking into the item group ID. You can see all 3 of them will have the same item group ID over here. As you can see, I've easily included the values from the custom field in the feed, and it's really simple. As I showed you, you just have to add the attributes, choose the type as attribute, and search for the field name over here. Alright, so for this we have a different documentation. As you can see, where we have listed all the custom field values that you can search for to include in the feed. I'll be including a link to this documentation in the description below, as I said earlier. So that's it for this video. If you have any confusion, you can always reach out to our support team and we'll be happy to help you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in one of my future videos. Take care.